Magic win, baby! The Orlando Magic's young core, the big three, come through in a big way and defend home court, defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers 103-96. Pish, and I mentioned it here right at the top. This was a balanced game from our big three here in Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero. Franz got it started, really aggressive out of the gate, 14 in the fourth quarter. The man was cooking some of that German schnitzel for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Paolo finished it off. Jalen was just consistent throughout, just being a bug in everyone's shorts and adding it all the way through. He had like an even scoring attempt throughout the night. But, man, it was an ugly game. It was a little bit of a mud-slinging fest. But that's the way we like it. That's the way this young team likes it. We're big and physical. We like to slow the game down. Let's do it in the paint. And we came out on top on this one. Really proud of this young group, Pish. How you feeling, man?
I hated this basketball game.
Wow.
I'm glad we won. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like shit right now. I did not like that game. My neighbors didn't like that game.
What?
I fucking hated that game.
Why
that
did your
game
neighbors
sucked.
hate it? Were you yelling? Is that why?
Yes, I was yelling because they were letting a 6'3" guy score in the fucking paint consistently. It still makes me mad all the time. We started one of the biggest rosters in playoff history with all these 6'10" guys out there, and some 6'3" dude is getting in the lane at will. No one else on that team can fucking do shit, and we wouldn't double him or take the ball out of his hands. We just said, keep on coming to the lane, little man. We'll let you throw the ball up at the rim. That poor bastard with his hurt knee, god damn it, that Donovan Mitchell, he left it all on the floor. I don't like the guy, but you got to respect him.
Yeah,
he was the only one out there playing.
No, yeah.
But why don't you shut down the one guy that's scoring? Make someone else do something. I'm sorry. It made me mad.
Pish,
The offense was shitty to watch.
Yes,
we shot
that's
39% and won a game, which is amazing, by the way. Loved what I saw from our big three, of course, and a good contribution when it counted from guys like Cole. I would have rather seen more Isaac down that last end of the stretch.
What was that?
Wendell Carter, who, by the way, finally got a block on him, and you didn't get any applause from me, WCJ, because it's about fucking time you blocked one of his shots. So it was like, come on, bro. He's going to throw up that many shots in the paint. You got to block at least one. So the odds are, I'm telling you right now, there's a bunch of Wendell Carter Jr. cards right there. They're going up on eBay later. So if you're interested, get ready because they're going. I was mad with the performance of our offense stunk in this game. Offense stunk. Yeah. It just was again, another one of those games where, like, if I'm watching that game and it wasn't one of my teams, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was exciting because it was close at the end, and this is a good game for our team to, like, get that playoff experience, a home win. You know, your season was on the line, and people stepped up in the clutch, which I love to see. But other than that last, like, 5-minute stretch where, again, we still allowed Donovan Mitchell to just get the ball and come right to the middle. At least Evan Mobley wasn't an MVP today. I'll say that. But Donovan Mitchell certainly was. Hats off to him in the loss. That guy was doing it all for them.
Yeah, I think I disagree. I agree with you that our offense is ugly at times. Certainly, I mean, our offense tonight was 22 of 26 from the line. That was our offense, 86%. We were just trying to get to the line. But where I will disagree with you, Pish, is, points in the paint. That's what we want them to do. That's what we're forcing them to do. They destroy us in points in the paint, which is kind of, for me, feels like I'm in the twilight zone as a Magic fan, because all year that's one of the stats that we really focus on. Did we win points in the paint? If we did, we won the game. And yet this series has been flipped. They've been destroying us in points in the paint, but you can hear it in the guys, the way that they're talking. We got to do a better job chasing them off the three-point line. That's what they said at the end of last game. So I think that was by design. It's like, yeah, I wrote down that these guards are torching us with way too many open layups. And I think just because you're chasing guys off of the line doesn't mean they need to be open freaking shots right at the hoop. But I think the maths that Jamal Mosley and the coaching staff did with this game plan for this series has been, let's not let them beat us from behind the arc with these two dynamic guards. We're going to force everything off the line, put it into the paint, and, hey, if we have to go blow for blow with them with twos, that's what we're going to do. And we're confident that our guys will get to the line a little bit more and be able to eke out these victories. And that's what the team has done. You don't think it's part of the game plan with just forcing these guys in, forcing Donovan Mitchell for have a 50 burger all from inside the paint?
Well, clearly the plan was to make sure to cover Evan Mobley and not go help in the paint. Clearly that was the plan, which I get because Evan Mobley had been eating inside. So I get that. So they're like, all right, let's take our chance with Donovan Mitchell, I guess. But like down the stretch, I switch up that because he's clearly hot. He's clearly doing it. Look, he couldn't do shit from outside. He airballed a three. He missed like 3 free throws in a row.
Yeah.
It's clear he didn't have the shooting down.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's the one thing he's now doing, and you're letting him do that. I think I would have let him get back into a few more of those wannabe step backs because he didn't look good in the shooting game tonight. Like he made one deep three late, but like other than that, he did not look strong in that end of the game tonight. And when you're looking at a team that's one man, right? They're one guy.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to come up. We have Jonathan Isaac, right? Like we have Suggs. We have some good defenders that one-on-one, but we were afraid to ever attempt a double team when it's like sometimes, the double teaming had resulted in a lot of easy Mobley buckets. So I understand that's what they switched up. But look, we shot 36 3-pointers tonight. We only made 11. And thank God we made some of those timely ones when we did. Otherwise, things could have gone way differently. I'm just saying, I'm glad we won this game. This game was very close to not going our way. If one other guy on the Cavs, other than Garland, had stepped up at all, then they win this game. And it just was, it was ugly to see us get away from what we were. Who we are, getting it into the paint and getting easy buckets. And when we would get inside, when we popped out for three, we would get open threes. If we're missing a wide open three, I don't like that, but at least the game plan is sound. Tonight it felt like guys had to make their own 3-pointers a little bit more, and I just didn't love the attack. It was good enough to get it done because I feel like the Cavs, other than two guys, didn't play well at all. And I think that atmosphere really kind of got to them too. I think, the heartbeat pounding in the street, it'll get to you.
I think, you mentioned that it really felt like it was getting away, especially in the third there. The Cavs go on a 13-0 run. And I feel like I want to give a special shout out to George's Niang. Okay, you're the real star tonight because on that 13-0 run, then you wanted to go over Jalen, try to help him up. You know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, you don't help your opponents up. You're mocking him, okay? And we don't need that. And that was exactly the sauce that Jay Sizzle needed to the team got going. Moritz got into it. The crowd got into it. Then we hit a couple threes. We got back in it. I wrote that down as thank you, George's Niang, you beautiful pudgy man, for being the Moritz Wagner, but not at the right time. Moritz Wagner, we love him. He can get the crowd in. He can get the crowd involved. He can frustrate opponents. But sometimes you're like, Moritz, no, not right now, sir. We're like, they're almost put away. Don't enliven them. Don't shake the dog or whatever the fuck it is they say. Don't poke the dog. Don't wake the sleeping giant. And that's what George's Niang did.
Don't poke the bear. Say it right. My God.
Don't poke the dog. Don't poke anyone's dogs out there. All right. I don't want.
It's bear. It's bear. It's poke the bear. Do not poke the bear. Listen, I can't stand here and let you try to insult my man Moritz Wagner by saying he has stuff in common with George's Niang.
Well, he does. He does.
I guess from that perspective of getting in guys' grills, yes. I get that. But Moritz Wagner is actually a basketball player. And George's Niang's mom is just the best chocolate chip cookie cook on the team, and that's the only reason that guy's on that squad. It's got to be because he has basketball talent.
He's a thick boy.
They're probably good. I mean, I'm sure they kick the shit out of Toll House cookies, but I just don't. I got to defend Moritz here because Moritz can hoop. All right, yeah. And George's is probably not going to make the national team of whatever country he's from.
He's probably from like Idaho. I don't know. He's from fucking somewhere.
Is he American?
I don't know.
No way. He seems zero to me.
George's Niang. I mean, if you have a first name named George's, then that immediately has to send up. He went to
Lithuanian vibes.
No, dude, he's from Lawrence, Mass, kid. He's from Lawrence, Mass, right outside of Boston. Yeah.
Perfect. He's a douche, and he's from a douche city. Amazing. Well done, life. I can't believe that guy's American. All right. I have more thoughts on who's American and who's not, but you have to tune into our podcast when we do it for that.
Yeah, we got to do an episode this summer when there's less basketball happening of is he American or not. Well, I'll just throw names at Pich and pictures of guys and see what he can do.
Oh, I like that game. But there's one in particular I can think of that made the USA basketball team, and I didn't know he was an American guy.
Joel Embiid?
Did not know that guy was American. I thought he was European or maybe Nigerian.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, I've heard him talk. I see his name. I'm like, this guy's American? Okay. Like, I guess maybe he converted or whatever.
He converted.
Oh, great. Welcome.
Welcome. Although the way that he was playing against the Knicks, man, he was playing dirty. I don't know if I necessarily welcome. But let's get back to this game, Pich. Let's get back to this game. Huge, man. The Orlando Magic, this young team, Pich, is getting to play a Game 7 in a hostile opponent's barn. This game was ugly, but we just have to absolutely love it for the experience that this team is getting, man.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you told me at any point in this series that we would have a chance to win one game and win that series, I'd have been like, that's amazing. That's way over what we would have hoped. But I think these Cavaliers, they've shown who they are, and it's not much. It's really a couple guys. I would think that even if Donovan Mitchell can put this team on his back and get him to the second round, he may not be interested in staying in those amazingly designed Cavs uniforms, probably the worst in the league. Hey, we're thinking about going with white shorts. We're gonna just put a C on the left side, and that's it. Nothing. No stripes, no logo, just the C on the one side awkwardly, and then we're done. That's it. That's a uniform. People will buy that. Sales of that cannot be good. No. Those are terrible.
Yeah, they've got one of the worst logos. They're just like the hoop with a basketball in it as the V. It's bad.
Well, it's like a throwback logo to the 80s, which it wasn't good then, but at least it was blue and orange then. It had a little sex appeal.
Right.
You know, this wine and gold. And I mean, the jersey has no piping on the, you don't really know where the jersey ends and where the arm begins on the real white guys. It's just, it's a weird thing, man. The Cavs have had some nice uniforms in the past. These are just god awful.
We go with starting Jonathan Isaac. He has a pretty muted stat line. 9 boards is pretty much the highlight. 1 block, no points. I was surprised to see Cole Anthony in the game so late. You mentioned that early. I didn't miss anything on the broadcast. Can Second Cousins, if I missed something, did they say something? Did Jonathan Isaac trot back to the locker room at one point? I didn't see it, but it was really surprising to see Cole out there at the end. As I was thinking that we had a missed shot that he easily puts up back off on the rebound because he was in the corner just coming up the baseline there because nobody was guarding him in the corner. But I don't know. It was an interesting choice by Coach Mosley, and you can't argue with the result.
He realized the Cavs were using that same defense we were using, which is let small guys score in the paint. So we're like, throw Cole Anthony at him. He'll score in the paint. And he was going in to get rebounds. And you know who else wasn't afraid to mix it up inside was Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to be afraid of Evan Mobley. Can he block shots? Yeah, sure can. Yeah. He's real good at it. But like, it doesn't mean you have to stop going inside because he's in there. Great point. Like, okay, maybe your shot gets blocked sometime. Maybe you get fouled. But people seemed afraid to go in there, except for late in the game, Markelle Fultz and Cole Anthony. And it's like, hey, I still need you to attack the rim. Yeah. Right? Like, and if we've got all these 6'10" guys and I'm attacking the rim, Mobley can only cover one of us.
Yeah.
Dump it off to another guy for an easy bucket. Like, we should be dominating inside without Jared Allen there, and we're just not. And when I saw the starting lineup, I was like, oh, we're going to do it. We're going for it. And they're countering with Marcus Morris, so we're going to try to beef it up on the inside. And it just didn't go that way at all. And it was like, oh, all right. Like, we're going to just not be us because we're too afraid of Evan Mobley blocking shots. When Evan Mobley blocks a shot, they don't get points for that.
Right.
So You don't need to be afraid of that much.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a little embarrassing, right? Like, I've had a shot blocked. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It fires you up a little bit. Sometimes it's a boost for the other team, but at the end of the day, no points exchange hands. And if you're smart and you get into the guy's body like Markelle did and a few other guys did, then you can get that space you need and you can create fouls. Like, there's no reason a guy that big with all of our length and the way we love to attack the paint doesn't foul out in a game that's like this, right? Like, but he didn't. And so it's like, it's a weird attack. It did work because we got some timely 3-pointers that went down, but that's not our MO.
Right.
Getting to the hoops our MO.
Yes.
So that's why it was like super nerve wracking and angry for me to see like us not doing what we do and hoping that just works out. And it did work out, but I don't know if it's going to work out in Cleveland.
Yeah, great point, Pich. I don't understand why we're settling for the mid-range. You know, Paulo talked a little bit about it, that they're taking away the paint. Well, not without Jared Allen. I know Evan Mobley, NBA first-team all-defense, tremendous defender. The guy is awesome. He's awesome. He reminds me of like a Jonathan Isaac, younger Jonathan Isaac, and hopefully not so many ACL tears for his career. But like you said, Pich, get into the man's body. He had 5 personal fouls. Couldn't get that one more if we would have been a little bit more aggressive early on. And to your point on the last recap, if you're going into the lane, getting into his body, you're taking him out of the play. That leaves guys that are trailing to clean up the trash there. It's like a garbage goal in hockey, baby. You just get it off the goalie and someone's there for the rebound. You can do that, guys. We can get there. We can get on the boards with our mismatch on the size. We did not take advantage of that. That's been game after game. It feels like we're not taking advantage of it with Jared Allen out. I mean, Jared Allen on the sideline, you got to take advantage. He has a great Star Wars shirt on, though. I had to respect that, Pich.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I always think it's a little weird when the guys that are out and Gary Harris was out and he was just like wearing him sweatsuit.
Yeah.
I'm like, put on one of the fucking everybody's in t-shirts and be a part of the team right now. Stop wearing your own thing. It ain't fashion week. All right. Like, wear the team uni or the warm up. Do something. You're part of the squad. Wear the colors. Represent. I don't like.
No, this is the old man.
This
This is an old man
segment.
segment. I think this is an old man segment over the summer, Pich. We got to save it.
Well, I got fiery like the old man, so it's understandable that this entire wrap-up has featured many old man takes. There was also a lot of not following your shots,
not following
which I
your
love.
shot.
Might as well just put them all in there.
Yeah.
Mix it up. And that's why I was so angry. The game created a lot of anger in me. I'm glad that we won.
Yes, of course.
There's a part of me that I think would have been like, well, yeah, of course you didn't win if we didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of like, hey, when good teams find a way to win when things aren't going well, and we did do that. So there is that, because the Cavs just weren't good enough. But any other playoff team, I think, would have brought just enough fire enough to probably put us away, maybe in that third. But hey, you can only do what's in front of you, and the Magic found a way to do it. God bless them, and we love it. Game 7.
Game 7, baby, Pich. This has been such a great series. We thought like the bottom had fallen out early on, and here we are going to a Game 7. I know you probably, well, no, I can probably say with certainty, Pich, that you haven't really been listening to other basketball podcasts or some of the narratives around this series, but on the Magic side of the ball, it is overwhelmingly, effusively with praise. People are excited about this young core. It's a huge victory for us. How we're, in this series, forcing a Game 7 now, really clearly disrupting the Cavaliers and what they want to do, holding them under 100 games. And what has this been? 5 out of 6 games? That's freaking crazy. And on the other side, it has been almost sky is falling for the Cavaliers with,
oh, well, I've heard that.
Yeah, like, looking forward, Donovan Mitchell going to want to re-sign, blah, 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 blah. Can you win with the 2 guards and the 2 bigs? Do you have to move someone? It's just interesting to see because
they need a bench.
Yeah, no, they definitely need a bench.
No support. Even if all their starters are there, they're still starting Max Strus.
Yeah.
And if he can't deliver like he did when the Heat, look, you don't have anybody coming off that bench that scares anyone. Karis LeVert at one time was something, but like they need some bench.
He had a bad game, man. 7 minutes he only got.
Yep.
Like they're playing way too many Marcus Morris minutes. Like 27 minutes, that's problematic. But it's interesting to me because the Cavs were pretty much our equal in terms of teams that were young. When Darius Garland popped, And then they made the move to get Donovan Mitchell. And we were talking in Magic circles about, should we make the move and get Donovan Mitchell and trade Jalen Suggs? And I think I might have even been on like, hey, if you can get Donovan Mitchell, you might have to do it and include Suggs. You might have to do it.
That's just because he's from Connecticut, so you were like excited about him.
I had to. But now you can kind of see the risk in that maneuver when you're a young team and you push the chips in a little too early for what you think is that last star piece. Now they're in this place where expectations were way higher, and all of a sudden it's a disappointment, even though Darius Garland is just about early in his second contract. Maybe Evan Mobley's still on his rookie deal. He came in with Franz Wagner. Like, they're not much different in the fact that they have a really young guard, a really young big. They should be positive. They should be feeling positive about playoff experience too, except that they got Donovan Mitchell. And now the stakes are higher. And I feel like it's just messing with their mojo. And this is a great lesson in team building. And why I have to tip the hat to, our front office to not be overeager, to not chase that sugar high, as Jeff Weltman always says, to let these guys develop. Because now, Jalen Suggs could be that third ball handler. We're all talking about what do we do with the guard situation? We need more shoot. Maybe Jalen Suggs can be a point guard. Like, he's really progressed with his game. He's much more sure-handed with the ball. He took 13 threes tonight, Bish. 13. That's the volume that I think Magic fans have been thirsting for all year long is, hey, can we get a guy that at least can be consistent with volume and at least have some gravity? And Jalen Suggs, this year and going into next year, people are going to have to guard him at the three-point line. He's no longer like a non-factor there. 40% shooter. It's great to see this young team, especially Jalen Suggs, man, really ascending right now. I just couldn't be happier for this young core. So excited for Game 7, Peach. You got a plan? You going to do anything? What are you going to be up to? You going to fly down to Orlando? Hang out with
How could I have made a plan when they just won like moments ago?
You want to fly to Cleveland? Let's do it, man.
No, I don't. No, nobody really ever wants to go to Cleveland. You have to go to Cleveland.
And hence why all the drama about Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, well, I have known about that storyline. I've heard about that, and that's why I knew he was going to be going all out, because he knows there's nothing for him to lose if they don't win this series. He's just basically made his point that, like, hey, I did everything. I put up 50 points, and we still couldn't win the game because nobody else could bring anything to the table. I'm going to go try going somewhere else. Right. And you're right. You're right. If we would have made that move for Mitchell, we'd probably be looking a little bit like this at this point. They got their playoff experience last year. They expected to do more this year, going that next step, but they didn't really change the team in a positive way. They got no bench. They got no additions. You'll see this throughout the playoffs, and this is something I'll talk about in the offseason as far as what I want for the Magic going forward. There's dogs that have played on several teams in the NBA in the playoffs, and those guys come off the bench. They know their role. They're getting 9 to 10 minutes tops. They got to be high energy guys. They go hard. They make a difference in the game. They're veterans, right? That's one of the only things we're really lacking on this team. I'm not going to buy Joe Ingles as our veteran or Gary Harris as our veteran on a team that's going to win the NBA championship. So at some point, you've got to upgrade your bench, and you've got to have a good, solid second unit. I like our second unit. We just don't have a lot of veteran experience there. Mm-hmm. But the Cleveland second string is just garbage. I mean, Georges Niang should not see the court. If you're behind him on the depth chart for the Cleveland Cavaliers, if you got less minutes than him today, you might be out of the league next year, because that's a problem. Like, you can't tell me that was a good
I'm looking at you, Karis LeVert.
I mean, somebody else needed to step up tonight, honestly, even just a little bit.
Yeah.
Tonight, the difference in the game was that Suggs stepped up for us. Our two stars did their thing, and Suggs stepped up for us in a big, big way. Their two stars played amazing, but nobody else did shit.
Yep. No, the bench played out at home, and let's see. I mean, that's really been kind of the tale of this series, Pish. The home team, the role players play out at home. And now we got it just once have somebody travel well. Can it be, another big game for Jalen Suggs or somebody else to step up? Can Moritz, play the heel and have a big one in Cleveland? We'll see what happens. Is Cole invigorated with the confidence that Mosley has shown in him? Who can it be? It's going to be an exciting Game 7. Let us know what you thought about Game 6 in the comments section, cousins. And Pish, man, I'm so excited to talk to you on Sunday after whatever we see happen. Good luck with the Stars. I know you're about to watch that game.
What time is this game going to be? It's going to be at 1:00 on Sunday?
Yeah, 1 o'clock. You going to be around?
1:00. All right. Yeah, I am.
Hell yeah.
But there's going to be a Stars game. There's going to be a Stars game at night, no matter what.
Okay.
Either game 7 or a game 1. So it could be 2 game 7s at one day.
Oh my God.
Let's
What a
hope not.
great sports day.
Let's
Could be
hope
epic. All right. Peace out, second cousins. We'll see you next time.
Coming.